The Denver Nuggets get yet another win versus the OKC Thunder. They are now up 2-1 in game 3 in Denver. We're going to talk about that game. We're going to talk about the things that are standing out for the Denver Nuggets this postseason, why that has changed their fortune from where they were in the regular season to now, and what do the Denver Nuggets need to do to secure a 3-1 lead versus OKC with the chips pushed to the table tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern Standard Time on ABC, y'all. Let's get to it.
You are Locked On Nuggets, your daily Denver Nuggets podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to Locked On Nuggets. This is your host, Swiper. This is your team every day. So glad to be here with you. Just getting a little bit of a game preview going into tomorrow. Everybody, what's up, y'all? If you're already in the chat, what's going on? Good to see everybody. I hope you are having a spectacular Saturday so far. Y'all, I'm not going to lie to you. After yesterday's game, I could not get a lot of sleep. I think a lot of you, just like me, we're super excited about what you witnessed, y'all. But today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins, y'all. Let's get straight to it, y'all. Man, the Denver Nuggets get their second win over the OKC Thunder in this playoffs, 113-104. And honestly, one of the most spectacular overtime sequences you will see by a team in the NBA playoffs. That was quite the performance in the game. The Denver Nuggets gave up 2 points in overtime, and they went ahead and they scored 11 on their own, and that was just everything you thought you would need to see from that team in that moment. And y'all, if you remember the game flow, like OKC, they were winning for a majority of the game. But the Nuggets, as they have for the last several years, they just find a way to hang around. And then when they need to make their move, very similar if you watch F1 racing at all, you want to hover, you're around that fourth or the fifth spot, but you get to really the last 3 laps, and then they just do a Lewis Hamilton where there might be kind of jostling for 1 or 2 pole position. And then next thing you know, last 3 races, my skills are better than you. My car is better than yours. And I know exactly what I'm supposed to do right here. And they just dominated down the stretch of the game, y'all. The Denver Nuggets, if you pay attention to this game in the fourth quarter, it was 83-83, really, to start the fourth. Russ hit a great jump shot. And then you had J-Dub hit a 3. Back and forth. Michael Porter Jr. is in the game getting buckets. You get a Jamal Murray fadeaway jumper. The teams were playing defense, and this was the kind of game where both teams said, we have to play our best foot forward to get the victory. Jokic and SGA, they both came back into the game in the fourth quarter with 8:31 left. And what I noticed about this was it seemed like David Adelman was trying to get Jokic as much rest as possible, but 2 things happened. 1, Jokic had already sat for, at that point, 3.5 minutes, which is not crazy, but for Jokic, that's a good amount of time. 2, the score was within 3. It was a 3-point L. Like, it was a 3-point deficit right at that point. And then the very next thing is SGA came off the bench. And at that point, Adelman sent Jokic out and said, go get it. So at 8:31 left, the Nuggets were down 3 points by the time the Nuggets got the ball after 2 free throws made by OKC. And now, from this point on, it's money time. From this point on, this is the clutch. From this point on, whoever wants it more is going to win this game. And it just became a jostling for positioning over the next stretch of the game. Jokic, he gets a jumper to follow finally. He puts the score at 90-92, but then you get a step back jumper from SGA, and then Jokic misses another shot down that next possession, and then Michael Porter Jr. subs in for Peyton Watson, who had, honestly, Peyton Watson had a very good game yesterday. The defense was important. The 3-point shots that he made was important. The intensity that he played with was important. Peyton Watson has given the Denver Nuggets an actual 7-man rotation. And, given the starting 5 and all the stuff that they've had to do so far this playoffs, and I'm going to get into some of the numbers with the starting 5, Peyton Watson being playable and Peyton Watson being a viable NBA player, it's really important to this team's success because they don't win the minutes. They don't win the minutes with Russ and Watson and Porter and Gordon and Murray if Watson is not going to do what he does. If Russell Westbrook is not going to be the playmaker, the defender, the slasher, and even the jump shooter that he is. It made all of the difference yesterday, and it ended up just absolutely getting the Nuggets everything they need to make it a close game for the starters to get back into the game. But y'all, the last, like 4 minutes and 26 seconds of this game, Aaron Gordon makes 2 free throws, and with 4:26 left, it's a tied game at 95 apiece. And now everybody knows that whoever's able to throw the best and last punch, they're going to be the ones to win the game. And so over the stretch of the next 4 minutes, you get Jamal Murray making some incredible plays. You get Jokic and Murray running the 2-man game. Murray's making step backs on iHeart. SGA is struggling. I think he was 1 of 8 in that quarter. Jokic was 1 of 6 in this quarter. We're going to get to Jokic in a minute. Jokic with 8 of 25 from the field, just not what you expect from the best player in the world. But I will say he battled, and that's what you have to see. You have to see players, everybody, even when you're struggling, you battle and you're fighting. And then honestly, y'all, it got kind of worrisome for the Denver Nuggets because with 1:11 left, as we're remembering the gameplay yesterday, remember J-Dub, he made 2 free throws, 2 of them. And what happened was the next possession, Porter comes in for Russ. Jokic misses a layup that he seemingly got fouled on, but they didn't give him the call. And then Jokic also was belligerent going back down the court, running the other way because he just absolutely felt like he got fouled at the point of contact that forced him to miss. But they don't overreact. Hartenstein gets the rebound, but Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with 37 seconds left. Christian Brown plays great defense on him, and then he just absolutely contests it was a good look for Shai, but for what the shot could have been, it was a very contested look because of Brown's effort to stay in front. And then the very next thing, Jamal Murray just fights for another rebound. And that was also another trend in the stretch of the fourth quarter into overtime. Jamal Murray had to fight to find these long rebounds because of the way that OKC was shooting. They were shooting nothing but jumpers, and everything was spraying out to the corners or it was spraying out back to the top of the key. And Jamal Murray secures the all-important rebound, sprints down the court. He forces the issue, brings it back out. Aaron Gordon shifts from where he was right in front of the Denver Nuggets bench and then rotates underneath the basket to the left corner. And then Jamal Murray, just an excellent game for him yesterday. He finds Aaron Gordon in the corner, and AG just hits his second most important 3 of this playoffs. And honestly, there's an argument that there's another 3-pointer that he made in this game that was just as important. Aaron Gordon ties the game. They get another stop on SGA on the other end. And the next thing you know, y'all, they go to overtime and they just absolutely put the game away. I mean, lock-up defense. Jokic makes a layup finger roll to start the quarter. Michael Porter Jr. made a 3-pointer off a Jamal Murray drive that put him up 5. And then Jamal Murray gets a steal on J-Dub, who tried to drive to the paint and do a turn on Jamal. Jamal swipes the ball away, gets the ball, sprints down the court, gets Lou Dort to turn around, and then ends up finishing a contested left-hand layup. Timeout OKC with 3:02 left in overtime, and the Denver Nuggets are up 109-102, and that was their biggest lead of the game. And honestly, this moment right here was kind of the first sigh of relief for everybody that was inside a Ball Arena. And I think for the Nuggets fans that were watching this abroad, this was the first time in the game, I think, where you can just be like, I think they're going to win. I think they've done enough to win. And really, Jamal, Gordon, Porter, Jokic, Brown, some important plays, Russell Westbrook, Peyton Watson, they just make some key plays in this game. And without it, they don't win. Y'all, on the other side, we're going to talk about Aaron Gordon, man. Like, I'm telling you, like, Aaron Gordon has proven so much in this playoffs, and I think that his ability that he has shown to rise to the occasion as a jump shooter, it's honestly changed the trajectory of what this Denver Nuggets team can be, and perhaps their ability to get out of this series versus a 68-win team. We're going to talk about all that and more here on Locked On Nuggets. Yo, we're back here for segment 2 of Locked On Nuggets, y'all. I know a lot of y'all know this, but thank you again. We're over 10,000 subscribers on the Locked On Nuggets side. Please, we're trying to get the 15,000 subscribers, y'all. As we grow, as the Nuggets grow, we're continuing to put out some of the best Denver Nuggets content on the web. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe on the YouTube side. If you're listening to this on Apple, iTunes, or Spotify, give us a 5-star review. That way more and more people can listen to the great content being made here at Locked On Nuggets. Yo, Aaron Gordon. My goodness. Aaron Gordon. My gosh. The way that man has played this whole playoffs has just been exceptional. I would be willing to make an argument, and this is how important this is, especially for a role player. I'd be willing to make an argument. He's been one of the 12 to 15 best players in the playoffs so far. Now, again, the playoffs have been really streaky. There's not been one player that had elite playoff games every game, or honestly, even very good playoff games every game. I think a lot of this is because the defense in the NBA has, across the board, has improved, and not even just the personnel, but I think the defense in the NBA has improved in that everybody just kind of knows how to feed into what their opponent does worse, how to put them in those situations to have to play that way. And then on the other end, whatever you do best in the playoffs, we're going to do whatever we can to restrict that. So finding consistency in the playoffs has been like finding gold. And Aaron Gordon has been a gold mine for the Denver Nuggets so far this playoff. 18.6 points, 6.7 rebounds, 2.2 assists. He's shooting 49.6% from the field, 41% from three, and 90.5% from the free throw line on 4 free throw attempts per game. And he's also been one of the best all-around defenders in the playoffs so far. Aaron Gordon, he scored double digits in every playoff game so far. And the only one that got close to not being a double-digit game were the 2 games the Nuggets got blown out against the Clippers and then versus OKC last game in game 2. But outside of that, AG has been incredible. And you get 22, 8, and 5 for Aaron Gordon on 7 of 11 from the field, 4 of 6 from 3, 4 for the free throw line, 86 true shooting. He was a plus 15 in that game as well. Like, Gordon, man, without his consistency, without his development, they wouldn't be where they are. They would not be where they are. And I think that one of the things that is continuing to happen as he gets healthier, and I think as he gets to the place where he's able to move functionally and he's less concerned about the calf injury, the better he gets, but the better the Nuggets get. Because now having a reliable two-way player that can do all of the things that he does, y'all, how many players in the NBA can you argue is one of the elite finishers around the rim in the sport while also being one of the elite three-point shooters in the sport at the same time? You don't find that. And so that's why I'm so incredibly proud of Aaron and just all that he's overcome to get to this point, but also how his play on the court. Like, he has a game-winning dunk. He has a game-winning 3. And now he has a game-tying 3 to send them into overtime. Like, how special is that, y'all? And for you to get that from him, and then on the other end, you know, not to be left out of this conversation at all, Michael Porter Jr. Michael, who didn't have a good first 2 games of this series, he comes out and he just decides, today I'm standing on business. His shoulder felt good enough. And then he put up just an absolute shooting masterclass. 7 of 10 from the field, 5 of 6 from 3. He was a +7 in the game. Now, listen to this. The starters, Michael Porter Jr. +7, Gordon +15, Jokic +5, Brown +6, Jamal Murray a +14. And Jamal Murray was incredible yesterday. I think he was the best player on the court. He had 27 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. He also had 4 steals and a block. They were challenging him defensively down the stretch of the fourth quarter and into overtime. And Jamal Murray held up time and time and time and time again. Like, I think that's making all the difference in the world for this team, is that when money time hits, they're willing to step up to the plate to do whatever they have to do by any means necessary to win the basketball game. And they're doing this while having some clear injuries that are holding them down. Like, that's incredible. That's incredible for Porter. That's incredible for Murray, especially versus this level of defense. Murray's had to face Chris Dunn and Kawhi Leonard, Derrick Jones Jr., and then now you're having to deal with Alex Caruso, Lou Dort, Cason Wallace, Chet Holmgren, Isaiah Hartenstein. And not only is he showing up, he's making key plays. He's making winning plays. Like, all this stuff matters, you all. Like, everything that you do leading into the game matters. The Nuggets are leading into the game with a good mental place. They're fighting. They know what's expected of them. And for them to lose by 43 points the night before and then still be able to come back and get this kind of victory at home, it's just an incredible performance and an incredible game. And I'm really excited to see how the team continues to fly and just how they continue to flow, because I want to see them continue to dominate. Also, another story of this series, if you check Cleaning the Glass, which again filtered out garbage time, I don't know if y'all know this, the Nuggets have 2 of the 6 best 5-man lineups in the NBA playoffs. The best one they have, and the best one in the playoffs, in 166 possessions, is Russell Westbrook, Jamal Murray, Christian Brown, Aaron Gordon, and Nikola Jokic. A plus 22.3 point differential with a 131.3 offensive rating and a 109 defensive rating. That's incredible. And then their starting lineup is a plus 7.4. But guess what? Both of those lineups so far in the playoffs are outperforming the OKC starters, who are plus 7.2. Like, OKC's, their defense is a 101.5, but their offense is a 108.8. The Nuggets have been able to find a way to score and find a way to get good looks at the rim. And they're doing this while making sure that Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, Christian Brown, Russell Westbrook, and Peyton Watson, they're all finding their ways to be able to be effective in this series. And I think that for Jamal Murray, especially, to navigate the amount of pressure he's seeing, and then for Porter to fight through the injuries, and then for Aaron Gordon to fight through the injuries and off-court trauma he's been dealing with, and then to go into the lab to become the shooter that he is, like, all of it matters. It all matters. It all adds up to the Denver Nuggets being able to be known as a team that rises to the occasion in the playoffs. And I think everything's in front of them. Again, I couldn't have imagined that this season would have gone the way it did, but I also couldn't have imagined that the Denver Nuggets, that they would have responded to the adversities the way they have at the same time. Like, it's just special stuff, man. It's special stuff to see this, and especially given the fact that this team in the regular season, they just didn't look like they had it in them. They did not look like they had it in them to show consistent greatness. And now they are. And they're dominating. They're balling. Like, they're finding new ways to win. They're finding ways to win even when all the chips are stacked against them. Like, that's important, y'all. That matters. And I think that this team, look, I don't know what the end goal is going to be. I truly don't. I don't know what the end goal is going to be. I don't know how the season will end, but I do know this. They're going to find a way to give their very best effort, and they're not going to shrink from the moment, and that's almost half of the job for this kind of team. On the other side, we're going to finish up some of these talks around the Denver Nuggets and how good they've been, but also we're going to talk about Game 4, the momentum of Game 4, the importance of Game 4, the why of Game 4, and how the Nuggets can put a stranglehold on this series in Denver. We'll talk about all that and more here at Locked On Nuggets. Did you know your Fire TV is also an Xbox? Turn any TV into your gaming and entertainment hub with Fire TV Stick 4K devices. No console required. Just grab your paired controller, subscribe, or sign in to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with EA Play included, and you're ready to play. Dive into hundreds of premium titles from EA Sports College Football 25 to Call of Duty Black Ops 6 and Avowed as easily as you stream your favorite shows. It's gaming made simple. And it's all on your Fire TV. Now, again, you get the latest technology for elevated playing with Wi-Fi 6/6E and auto-low latency mode advanced technology. Fire TV Stick 4K delivers smooth, more responsive gameplay with lightning-fast speeds you need to stay competitive. You get endless entertainment with 4K streaming. Watch more than 1.5 million movies and TV episodes from your favorite subscribed services like Netflix, Prime Video, Disney Plus, Max, and more. You get affordable portable gaming, play high-quality Xbox games at a fraction of the cost of the console. Already have a console? A Fire TV Stick 4K device is more affordable and easier to travel with, allowing you to take your games wherever you plug in or your kids. So this is what I'm telling y'all. Head to Amazon.com/Fire TV Locked On to get started. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription and compatible controller required. Available on select devices, including Fire TV Stick 4K, 2nd gen, Fire TV Stick 4K Max, 1st and 2nd gen, and Fire TV Cube, 3rd gen. Y'all, we will be right back for the final segment here at Locked On Nuggets. We are back for the final segment of Locked On Nugget. This is your host, Swiper, giving you a special Saturday episode to get you ready for Game 4 in Denver, y'all. Y'all, the team showing up to the party. The Denver Nuggets are finding ways to win. The Denver Nuggets are committing themselves to do everything necessary to win these games. And they've been able to get the OKC Thunder this season to the clutch in 3 of the 4 games that they beat in OKC. In the 3 other games that OKC has won, they've all been blowouts. But there's something to be said about the fact that we're getting a chance to see just how good this Denver Nuggets team truly is and what they're made of. And I think it means the world that the Nuggets are just finding ways to win when the grit and grind portion of the game come to fruition. Y'all, the Nuggets are 6-4 so far in this playoffs. And honestly, they're finding creative ways to win, whether it's relying on Russell Westbrook to score on these corner threes because now he has the confidence, whether it's relying on Jamal Murray to get to a spot and pop a shot, whether it's relying on Aaron Gordon to finish the play as a three-point shooter or on the inside. Michael Porter Jr. has stepped up. He's hitting huge shots, but it's also the defense. Like, one of the things they're doing with Shea is the Nuggets are trying to get Shea to be comfortable taking difficult over-the-top shots that require him. It looks like a 1-2-2 zone, or it looks like they're playing a box and one versus Shea. But all it is that if they're going to get a switch on Murray or on Christian Brown, they're going to kind of flare out a little bit to see. They're going to have the corner. So whether it's Brown or Murray or Russ, whoever else it is, or on the other end, it's one of those 3 or Aaron Gordon. They're going to run almost like a diamond protection behind Shea. And then they're going to bring Jokic up into the paint to some degree. He's going to play in between his man and between the lane. And whenever SGA decides he wants to drive the basketball, they're going to show hands and they're going to show bodies and they're going to dare SGA to beat them with over-the-top shot making. Now, in the first half, OKC was getting far too many drives. far too many drives. But now, in the second half, the adjustment has been cut off the driving angles. We're going to load up the paint, and then we're also going to rotate on the weak side, and we're going to see if we can find Chet, Caruso, and Dort three-pointers. That's the gamble. Can we find them, make them the final bailout options for this team so that they can find advantageous ways to score consistently on the other end? So they get these stops on Chet. They get these stops on SGA over the top contested jump shooting. They get these stops on Dort. And then on the other end, you trust a two-man game to find the best shot possible. And then you trust Aaron Gordon. You trust Michael Porter Jr. You trust Christian Brown or Russell Westbrook, that if they do collapse, that we can find ways to finish the play and finish possessions. And they're doing that. I'll say it like this. I think OKC is less comfortable in a tight game than Denver is. I want to say, for everybody that might not be as familiar, the Nuggets have lost a lot. The Nuggets have had expectations and lost multiple times. The Nuggets didn't have expectations and lost, and it hurt. In 18-19, the Nuggets were the 2 seed with 54 wins. And they lose in the second round of Portland Trailblazers because Jamal Murray just couldn't hit anything that game. I think he went 5 of 18. They lose because Jokic misses a free throw. And so that way, when CJ McCollum makes a go-ahead jumper, it puts them down 3 instead of 2. They lose in the second round that year. They lose in the bubble 4-1 to the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. They weren't ready yet. And then they lose in 21 to get swept by the Suns. Murray's not there. MPJ is injured. The team isn't good. And then now they lose in 22 to the Golden State Warriors 4-1 with no Jokic and no Porter and no Murray. And then they win a title in 23, and then they lose in 24, up 20 in a game 7 as the favorites. And then on top of that, not only as the favorite, I think they would have won the title if they get past Minnesota. So they've lost. They've been here. They know the pressure of losing. They know the pressure of being in these situations and not being able to get the job done. And for them, these moments are like clockwork because I know what it means to fail. That's one thing about winning in basketball and in sports that I think people don't realize. You have to know what it feels like to not be good enough, to come up short because of your own wrongdoings, because of your own mistakes. You have to be able to go through that process, learn from it, and then from that point on decide that I'm not going to be the same person I was yesterday. I'm not going to make the same decisions I did yesterday. I'm not going to let go of the rope the same way I did yesterday. And that's what the Nuggets are. The Nuggets failed to make the playoffs in the 17-18 year, y'all, because they couldn't hit enough shots down the stretch of that Minnesota Timberwolves game. And then ever since that, they've had one season where they truly have lived up to expectations and won. So this is an opportunity for Denver, in Denver, versus a 68-win team, one of the best teams ever. This is an opportunity for them to put a stranglehold on the series up 3-1. You have all the momentum on your side. And 15, who you're the best player in the world to me. I hold you to the standard I don't hold anybody else in the league to. As it should be. We expect Jokic to come back in game 4 and deliver a take-me-home performance that gives the Denver Nuggets a lead, a 3-1 lead in the series. We expect for the Denver Nuggets and Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon and Russell Westbrook and Peyton Watson and Christian Brown, we expect that when the moment happens, that you respond to the moment and you get a win, because I don't think people realize outside of the Nuggets network how important it is to set this kind of tone. Now, if they don't win the game, can they still win the series? Yes. The Nuggets can still win the series. But This is what I'm talking about taking advantage of opportunities. Erase the mistakes of yesteryear. And the Denver Nuggets come back and get a win. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, I think the Nuggets do it. I think the Nuggets get a win tomorrow. And I think the Nuggets are going to have a great opportunity to give themselves their third Western Conference Finals attempt since 2020. Y'all, let me know what y'all think in the comment section. What do you think about tomorrow's game? What do you think about how the way the starters have played? Aaron Gordon, Porter, Jamal. Do you expect a bounce-back game from Jokic? Do you think the Denver Nuggets can take advantage of the moment and take a 3-1 lead over OKC? This is Swiper, Locked On Nuggets. See you on the other side.